如何提供反馈才能给对方价值呢？那今天就让我们来透过 Stanford Deed School 的 I like, I wish, what if 的架构，来让我们的沟通更有价值。Hello， 欢迎来到 Executive Plus 主管与沟通力的 Podcast。I'm Sherry, an educator, certified coach, and style enthusiast. 我相信专业有效的沟通是语言跟逻辑的完美结合。
And I'm Nick, a startup consultant, corporate trainer, and late-night gaming junkie. I believe great communication requires the right mindset and solid frameworks.
我们希望带给大家职场英语的技能、跨文化沟通技巧与其他能帮助您成为出色领导者的工具。
Join us each week as we share our experience, research, and methodologies to take your communication and language skills from good to great. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Executive Plus podcast. In this episode, we want to share with you a type of feedback made famous by the Stanford D School, the Stanford School of Design, most famous for creating projects around design thinking and helping entrepreneurs flesh out ideas for new great innovations and companies. Now, the reason that we like this methodology is because it very much is rooted in facilitation and coaching style feedback, where rather than giving criticism or general feedback, it gives people a very easy three-step process to offer constructive criticism and a follow-through on what could be improved.
我们在之前很多的单元其实都有讲到这个部分嘛，如何去提供反馈，尤其是如果今天是来做一个小小的批评，一个 small criticism， 你要怎么样来让对方知道，而能够让对方马上的去做一个改变。So 在我们之前的很多 episode， 其实我们常常讲的一点就是这件事情你一定要能够让对方能够有所改变 right? They have to be able to change it and you have to at least walk them through it or point it out what they could change within your feedback.
Action steps and follow-throughs always make a big difference because it gives someone a clear sense of what do we do next. So in the case of feedback, in the case of criticism, you never want to create a feeling in someone where they're like, yes, thank you for that. Now what? I don't know what to do with this information. So feedback and follow-through is really important when giving constructive criticism. Now, there's another rule related to using this methodology that is very important because it creates a different feeling. And that's when you give feedback or criticism, you should start with I. I feel, I think. And the reason for this is not about your opinion is more important than anything else. It separates out the difference of this is your opinion, this is your advice, or this is your feedback, as opposed to just making a blanket statement. I feel there could be a lot of improvement in section A, B, C. That's a very different thing than, oh, well, this needs a lot of improvement. If you just say, this needs a lot of improvement, they may take that as a blanket, I am bad. Like, I wasn't good at this.
Okay.
But when someone changes it to, I feel these places could be improved, you can segment that as that is this person's opinion, which may differ than other people's opinion. The CEO and the COO and the CFO may have different opinions.
Okay.
And it's actually good to gather all of them rather than just going, oh, blanket, this is bad.
我觉得这个 idea 其实在各种语言都可以通的。如果今天我们讲中文的话呢，这个产品不够好。This product, it's subpar. 那如果我今天讲 I feel， 我觉得这个产品还不够好。那这个就是听起来就是从这个是我的个人的一个 opinion, right? 这个不是说你的产品真的不好，而是我这个是我的个人的 opinion. So I think starting with the word I will definitely makes it more like your opinion coming from you. And that's why the structure, it's called I like, I wish, and then what if.
A very simple three-part structure to giving feedback. And it sounds as straightforward as you can.
Yeah.
I like is just a statement about what did you like about what they said? What did you like about their idea?
Yeah.
This may compare back to if any of you were with us very early on and we talked about shit sandwiches where you layer compliments outside the critical feedback. Always starting with this maybe positive side or something that you like about it helps someone from not building a wall immediately.
Okay.
Then the next step is just I wish. And I wish is a feedback, meaning this is something I think was missing. This is something I think could be improved, but I wish something had been different. And then just ending it out with a what if. And this is where you get to that action. What if you tried this? What if we did this together? What's that follow-up? What's that action so that we can make the improvements?
所以 I like 的部分当然就是在讲你喜欢什么，先讲坏的之前我们先讲好的嘛，我喜欢什么。I wish 这个地方就是我们所谓的 criticism 的部分，我希望它可以怎么样再更好。那 what if 就是给人家一个 action step， right？ 给人家一个 option， 它可以怎么样来进步。I do wanted to point out that with shit sandwich, this is a very indirect way to talk about criticism or feedback. Now, if you're facing someone, let's say you're facing someone who came from a culture who prefer direct, a really direct way of point out what the problem is. I don't know, Nick, what would you think we should start with? Should we start with I like, or should we just start with I wish?
I do think in certain cultural contexts, you can definitely be a little bit more critical up front, just because that's what they're expecting. But there's a slight nuance to why we're using I like.
Okay.
And that's not just because we're trying to be positive up front. The other nuance to I like is when you make a blanket statement like, this needs improvement. Unless you start to get into very specific detail, that blanket statement, they may just take as everything's bad. But the reality is there's many times where 90% of it is fine. 80% of it is fine. Or someone has all the right building blocks. They just need to rethink the order. They just need to rethink how they're presenting it. When you start with I like, it's actually to also qualify what part of it is actually good. So that when you get to your critical feedback, someone's not rethinking, how do I do it all from zero? So you may say something like, I like how thorough your content is and that you had a nice summary up front. But I wish that these key action steps you want us to take were at the beginning of your presentation or you emphasize them a lot more. I'm not criticizing the comprehensiveness of your thing. What I'm pointing out is just that the order has some issues in which maybe I get bored or I get lost before the key things come out. So when I'm using I like, it's not shit sandwich style where it's just like, oh, you're so professional looking on stage. Maybe it's very fluffy. But in this case, the I like is very specific to don't change this. This is good. Let's just adjust this other part with I wish.
So that makes a lot of sense. 所以我们在讲 I like 的时候，并不是代表说我们好像只是不好意思让人家听到那个不好的部分。但是你在讲 I like 你喜欢什么部分，这些部分请不要改变，这些部分是好的。That's why I said I like it, right? 我觉得 Nick 可能在以一个consultant 的角色，他常常要跟客户来沟通。我觉得这个部分对你来讲 I think for Nick it's really important, right? If they had told you what I liked in the first place, that would have saved you a lot of time trying to like confirm with a lot of things, right?
Yes, a lot of times I will use a statement, only if it's true, not make it up, is a lot of times people have all the right content. Their structure is just a problem. Or they're just missing certain pieces. But if I start my feedback by going full critic mode, they may forget that, again, the structure, the content is fine. Like 90% we're on the way as far as the content you have there. It's just a matter of how do we reorder these blocks. So I will often start out with that statement. It's like, okay, you have all the right pieces.
Right.
I just want to work with you to restructure it. That's like, I like the information that you have, but I wish that the structure of your presentation was a little more focused or straightforward.
Yeah, it's just like 我现在最近在帮很多学生在修正他的履历表 like resume writing. I would tell them, oh, I like the way you write your responsibilities. I wish you would include the impact of your responsibility as well. So what if you could add a little bit more and think about what the impact is for you in that company for completing that task? Yeah, so I think that would work really well when it comes to giving feedback.
Yes, you're definitely setting the stage for, I like that you have your responsibilities listed out. That's not a criticism of, if I said your responsibility section needs to be improved.
Oh, that's true.
That's a different feeling because it's not actually your responsibility section is bad overall. It's that you're missing a key component of what will make it great. For anyone who's using the I like section, you should avoid just giving a fluffy, oh, I really like your passion in your presentation. It's not a feedback where you're just trying to give someone positive reinforcement. What you're really setting there is genuinely, I like this. This part is good. We're not going to adjust that. When I get to I wish, it's actually how do we go from 80 to 100? How do we go from good to great? It's about making that jump. And then what if is you helping refine that section.
那在这个部分呢，他们有讲到说 instead of saying what if, 那就是最后一个部分 what if, 我们也可以讲 I wonder 或者是 how to.
These are very similar statements to what if, but it's just another phrasing. For example, I wonder is very much a let's get into brainstorm mode.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if we could incorporate ABC, or I wonder if we had more feedback from our customers, how that would affect. And then that's a brainstorm of like, how do we design a survey? How do we design a study? How do we make improvements? How to is a little more direct.
Yeah.
I would like you to A, B, C, and then come back with the results.
Yeah, I like the phrase I wonder. 我觉得 I wonder 给大家一种我们好像一起来可以想一个不同的方法，坐在一起 brainstorm 比较有一种空间的感觉。It really makes it easier for people to come up with new ideas and be more creative. 我蛮喜欢那个 I wonder. Like personally, 我蛮喜欢这个 I like I wish, I wonder. 我觉得也非常的好记。
Yeah, I wonder definitely also removes that pressure of, say, authority. If I'm your boss and I'm like, what if you did this?
It should just do that.
It's going to come across as like, yeah, you should go do that.
Yeah.
But if I wonder, again, it's this more ethereal kind of like, I'm also dreaming with you.
Yeah.
I'm brainstorming with you. It's a nice way to just make it feel like, oh, let's talk about this.
觉得 I wonder 是那种我们可以来试试看这个，但是 what if 是有一种你就试这个吧 right? So I think that gives up different feelings as well.
We hope you enjoyed this episode on giving feedback the Stanford Design School way. Very simple 3-step process. I like, I wish, what if. If you have feedback and there's things you would like to hear on our show, this is a great thing to share with us. What do you like? What do you wish we would do? And what if we could brainstorm great ideas together? Give us feedback on any of our social media, or if you love what we do, please leave us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts so that we know what you're thinking about together. We're actually almost at 100 Apple reviews. So if you like what we do, please take a time, give us a message about what you like and what you'd like to see in the future. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
The Executive Plus podcast is a Presentality Group production, produced and hosted by Sherry Fang and Nick Howard. You can search us on Facebook, 主管英文 Executive Plus. You can also find us on Instagram, Communication R&D, and email us at sherry@epstyleplus.com.